What's going on, people? Welcome to an In Motion Football live stream. My name is Alam, and this is the last off-season preview series stream of the off-season. The final team, the Philadelphia Eagles, they are getting a solo stream on their own um, because, yeah, they are in a very unique circumstance for a lot of reasons. It's not just because they're my favorite team. It's not just because they won the Super Bowl. There's a lot of stuff going on with this team. And we're going to get right into it, people. Before I get started, shout out to the 5 people watching live. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on replay, you have the same opportunity to support the content. Yeah, we're going to get right into it with the formalities out of the way. I'm going to make the screen bigger here. We got the Philadelphia Eagles, who, before we get into the players, how did they rank? They were the 6th offense by EPA, the 2nd defense by EPA. So one of the best teams in football. Obviously went on to get better and better as the year went on and look like the best team in the NFL in the playoffs. So thing you have to keep in mind is this 6 EPA. Part of the reason that's the case is because Jalen Hurts missed time. So if Kenny Pickett, wasn't having to play, they'd probably be even higher. But yeah, very good football team. A big part of the story with them, though, is that the Eagles are the most expensive roster in football. They have the most guaranteed money on the books, just barely beating out the Cleveland Browns, which is just a comical reality. But yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles, very good football team, very expensive football team. And part of the reason that that's the case is because they're bringing back so much of their team. They're missing 4 starters, missing Mekhi Becton, Milton Williams, Zach Bond, and Josh Sweat. So, upon initial review, you have a very good team that's expensive for a reason. And they're all coming back next year aside from 4 players. So initially, it looks like a very good situation. But what I would say is that while Mekhi Becton, people might not consider him a great player. He was a big part of our success last year. Mekhi Becton was an excellent run blocker. I would say he's a good pass blocker, but like excellent run blocker. Our rushing attack was a big part of the reason we were what we were last year, and he has to get a huge amount of credit for that. If he doesn't get re-signed in free agency, they're going to play Tyler Steen there. Tyler Steen has been developing for 2 years. He had some good games. He's not Mekhi Becton yet. He could be, but ultimately there's a bit of an unproven player there, but there is an internal option. If Milton Williams leaves, Moro Ojomo would get the opportunity. Now, Milton Williams is phenomenal. He's very well-rounded. Somebody who definitely gets less credit than they should. Now, obviously, playing next to Jalen Carter helps, but Milton Williams holds it down for himself as well. I think, what did he have? 2.5 sacks, strip sack, and a fumble recovery in the Super Bowl. That's how you get paid. That is how you get paid. Moro Ojomo really started to come on towards the end of the year. So again, there is an internal option, somebody who is young, somebody who does have potential, but he's not quite Milton Williams yet. He could be one day. We don't know for sure whether that's going to happen, but there is an internal option. Zach Bond. Zach Bond played elite football last year. If his name was Fred Warner or something like that, you would look at him as one of the best linebackers in football and probably a first-team All-Pro kind of a player. Although, hold on, I think he got first or second-team All-Pro anyways. But regardless, he's amazing. Now, if he leaves in free agency, there's no internal option. Jeremiah Trotter is not an internal option. He is more of a Nakobe Dean replacement. He is not a Zach Bond. Zach Bond is one of a kind, and that's the free agent we can't afford to lose. Josh Sweat, if he leaves, excellent player when he's on his A game. Isn't always on his A game. 2022, he was pretty good. Last year, he was okay. This year, he was pretty good again. If he doesn't play, if he leaves, Jalix Hunt will get the opportunity to take his spot. Jalix Hunt, again, another promising young player who, was getting developed last year and started to look pretty good by the end of the year. So there's internal options for all the free agents that are leaving except Zach Bond, and that's why he's the one. And that's why he's the guy we have to have back, even if it requires overpaying him. But yeah, when I get into what I want the Eagles to do, that's really the beginning. That's the beginning of everything for me, is re-signing Zach Bond. honestly, just complete transparency, I don't think I would re-sign anybody else. I think Becton is going to get overpaid like crazy. Why? Because he just won a Super Bowl and he's a high lottery pick, high first round pick. Um, a big name. I think he's going to get paid like crazy. Milton Williams just had 2.5. Him and Josh Sweat both had 2.5 sacks on Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I think they're going to get paid unreasonably. I actually don't think any of them should come back. I think we should spend the money on better deals in free agency. Um, we should draft, and we should be in the trade market. I don't think we should be, being in bidding wars and losing and signing bad deals. The only exception there is Zach Bond. So that's a part of the crucial thing for me is that, yeah, I would be looking to promote Moro Ojimo when Milton Williams leaves, but I'd want to replace Moro Ojimo with probably like a first round pick. Yeah, if Becton leaves, I would want to play Tyler Steen, but also you can replace a Tyler Steen with, another Mekhi Becton kind of a signing. Mekhi Becton was signed after the draft. He was not somebody who was looked at as a big free agency signing, signed for maybe 1 year, $5 million. I think you can play Tyler Steen, let Becton leave, and then get another Mekhi Becton. You hopefully, develop into something else. But like I said, I think Becton, Sweat, and Milton Williams are all going to get crazy deals in free agency. And I don't think we have to be in the business of crazy deals. But yeah, that's my outlook on those pieces. And then Josh Sweat, same thing. He leaves, that's cool. I think we can draft somebody in like round 2, maybe sign somebody in free agency. You know what though? I'll get into that. But yeah, if my plan for free agency is pay Zach Bond whatever he needs, let all the other free agents leave, and then go for value. And the way I characterize value is in relation to the fact that we are the most expensive roster in football. We have the most guaranteed money left on the books. And what that means is that like any money that we spend, okay, part of what has to happen for you to be the most expensive roster in football is you have to launch salary into the future. So like a bunch of the players on the team this upcoming year, they're going to be paid for their services in like 2026 and onwards. So a lot of the money that you spend this year is going to be on the books probably 2027, 28, 29. For that reason, what I think about spending the money is it has to be on a player that's either going to be around those years or on a player that's so elite that it doesn't matter. So when it comes to the kind of players that we should be signing, it's young players or elite players. There's no really in between. So go get a Myles Garrett if you can. Go get a Khalil Mack if you can. If not, go for somebody that's younger than Josh Sweat. Same thing applies to Milton Williams. He's, a bit of an interesting case because he's really young himself, but I think he's going to get an insane contract. Go get a Javon Hargrave, a Bryce Huff, Hassan Reddick, those kind of contracts. Sign that kind of a player right after the rookie deal with some upside. Mekhi Becton, same thing. Go get another Mekhi Becton. That's the plan. Be active in the trade market. We're about to get a bunch of comp picks next year. With guys like Sweat, Milton Williams, and Mekhi Becton leaving in free agency, we would get comp picks back. We're going to get a lot of those comp picks back, meaning we can trade some of the picks that we do have. Trade market is a little bit harder to have a wish list for because you don't really know who's on the market, but that would be my plan of attack for the offseason. Eagles must target edge rushers, tight ends, running back, wide receivers, strengthen the roster based on the current team used for. I don't agree about receivers. I can hear it about everything else. Quietly, I think running back is a need. I think if you watch what happened last year, the running game was such an important part of how they became a really good team. And next year, you're going to have a 28-year-old running back off a 2,000-yard season. Are you completely sure that he's going to be healthy next year? I don't think that would be a great bet. And you got to prepare to play without him. And, you should hope to have a dominant rushing attack without him because you see how much having a dominant rushing attack opens up for the other parts of your team. How much it opens things up for other parts of the team. So, yeah, if I'm them, I kind of hear it. Deep down, I kind of want them to go running back in round 2. Like get a good running back. And really just like have the ability to sit Saquon Barkley here and there. That's really what I want. But I know we'll never do that. I know we'll never do that. Yeah, what considering free? Ooh, Hassan Reddick. That's a shout because I think Hassan Reddick could be really, really, really cheap. And Hassan Reddick as a rotational edge, oh, that'd be cinema. Big up Joel, Bird Gang in the building. I would hate if the Eagles signed Zach Bond and Mackay. I don't think they're gonna get Mackay, man. I think Mackay is gonna go get a big bag, but I don't think so. Ask Chiefs about Black Magic. You know what, Jen Will? You know what? That's not even the worst suggestion. That's not the worst suggestion. Eagles must have a backup plan for Barkley. I agree. I agree that they should have a backup plan. Didn't Reddick fall out with Howie? I don't know. If he did, then obviously. But you know what it is? Okay, I don't know if that happened or not. Maybe it did, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Howie repaired the relationship with CJGJ this offseason, and that's how things ended up working out. So it's possible that Howie figures it out. Okay, in terms of the draft strategy, okay, it's kind of an interesting call. I would not be drafting any defensive tackles aside from the first round because, the value could just be amazing drafting a defensive tackle in the first round. But truthfully, I think veterans have to be added to the first round. The defensive tackle. If you look at the guys on the books, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ojimo, even Byron Young and Thomas Booker, these are all really young players. I think you could probably use a vet. So if I were to replace Milton Williams, it would be either a free agent or a first round pick. Draft strategy at the edge spot, again, high value. Like if you're talking about first, second round, sure. If not, this is a very young spot on the roster. You got Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, Bryce Huff. I don't know if he's going to be on the team. He might have to be because of the contract, but if they can figure something out, that would be good. But yeah, it's a young part of the team. I think it needs a vet. Linebacker. We don't draft high. I would draft another linebacker though at some point, but that's probably a mid-round pick at best. At the corner spot, you just drafted 2 corners. So how much more draft compensation can you pour into that position? If anything, maybe I would draft a safety because Reed Blankenship is going to be a free agent soon. You just paid CJGJ. I don't know how much more money you have to spend to replace a guy like Reed Blankenship. So you might want to draft a safety there. But honestly, I don't know if draft picks on the defense are going to be a big thing aside from the defensive line at the top of the draft because that's what Howie Roseman does. In terms of the offense, though, that's really where I want the draft picks to go to. I think we could draft a tight end, like a respectable level too, like round 3 or round 4. Somebody who could maybe replace the Dallas Goedert at the end of the year because this is Dallas Goedert's last year under contract. Maybe somebody who could play for Dallas Goedert when Dallas Goedert gets hurt. I say when and not if because he's going to get hurt. We could definitely draft a running back. I already talked about that. I want a running back that can, you can give the ball to and rest Saquon Barkley, and that's not legitimately something that harms your team. So I'm talking like round 2. Offensive line. Take them any chance you get. We're going to be missing a lot of volume. So when it comes to the team next year, there's you're missing Mekhi Becton. You're missing Fred Johnson. Fred Johnson was our main backup tackle, and he did well when Mailata was hurt. Becton, obviously, was a great player for us. But I don't see a ton of young quality. You got Darian Kennard, who's just somebody that took a flyer on. Brett Toth, who's been fucking literally with the team. Like I feel like he's been on the practice squad since 2019. I don't know about this guy. I'm assuming Steen would start in front of Becton. This guy was a rookie last year in the 5th round. There's not a lot of quality. So, yeah, offensive line. I would not draft a receiver, by the way. You got Jahan Dotson, Johnny Wilson, and Anaya Smith to develop. Again, bring in a vet. But, yeah, from a draft pick standpoint, running back, tight end, offensive line, safety. Those are the big spots, and obviously defensive line high in the draft. But like I said, if you don't go defensive line round 1 and 2, I don't know if I would go defensive line at all. I don't mind Hassan Reddick, but all my homies hate JJ Reddick. Okay, so the hate quota for the Reddicks got sent to JJ. I hear it. The Eagles team projected 23 million cap space suggests they may not pursue big money free agents early, focusing instead on re-signing and value signings. But here's the thing, Sai. I'm going to show you an example of an Eagles contract. Saquon Barkley Spotrac, because the way we do contracts is very, very weird. So Saquon Barkley, right? Getting paid $13 million a year. But the first year cap hit was 3.8. Second year, 6.8. Third year, 9.6, and then 10.7 when the contract runs out. This is how we organize things. So when we say that we have 23 million cap space, that's more like that could. It's undefined how much you can add to your roster with that number. That's why I don't look at cap space. It's actually a very, very empty thing to look at. There's not a lot of substance to it. The NFL salary cap is so much more complicated than just having cap space. That's why I look at guaranteed money and I put this together. You cannot find this anywhere on the internet because I had this made. This is showing the guaranteed money on every team's books, which really shows you how invested they are in the team. And the Eagles are high up there. And again, this doesn't mean that we can't spend money. It just means that like the cost of spending money is more severe. So if we spend money, we're spending like at this point, we're spending money from 2028, which it's worth it if we can get, again, a young player that might be around in 2028 still, or an elite player to where if it helps us win a Super Bowl, we'll look in 2028 and be like, fuck it, we're paying for Myles Garrett now. Doesn't matter because Myles Garrett helped us repeat. Like that's how it goes. Means they're money laundering. NFL arrest and Eagles are hilarious, bro. You say the Jaguars, the Cleveland Browns and the Jaguars, the second and third most invested teams in terms of guaranteed money. These are the second and third most, again, like basically most fucked rosters. Like the same kind of calculations the Eagles have to make about like, we have to be very careful about who we spend our money on. The Browns and the Jaguars have to do the same things, except they're shit. So it's even worse. Again, at least with the Niners, Dolphins, you can kind of see the semblance of something. Lions too. Saints and Cowboys, those are also kind of similarly weird positions. This type of pattern is good for now, but long run it will cost the Eagles. So here's the thing. You're definitely right. But if you win Super Bowls, it's worth it. Like here's the thing. Any bullshit we're setting ourselves up for in the future is already worth it because we got a Super Bowl. Like Super Bowls are really hard to win and it's already worth it. So in pursuit of another Super Bowl, bring on the cap hell, bring on the bullshit. I'm okay with it. I'll say that much. But yeah, shout out to everybody in here. 9 people watching live. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel In Motion Football. This is the last offseason preview series of the offseason. I mean, I get the Browns spending, especially Deshaun's contract, but how are the Jaguars there? Oh, okay. You know what, bro? I can show you right now while we're here. Jacksonville Jaguars, dead cap. All right. So Trevor Lawrence, 133 mil. That's a lot. It's really the volume of mid-tier free agents, right? Josh Allen, Tyson Campbell, they just paid their corner. Did you know who he is? No, but they just paid him to be a starting outside corner. He's 25 years old. Walker Little, they paid him to be a left tackle, 26 years old. Eric Armstead, right? Defensive lineman from the Niners. They paid him a big contract. Foyesade Oluokun. Yes, I think I got it. Linebacker that they paid. Gabe Davis, receiver. Devon Hamilton, again, defensive tackle. You might not know who he is, but they paid him. Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram. And then you're getting into like a normal amount of contracts. But yeah, it's the fact that Trevor Lawrence's deal is new. And they have a bunch of just mid players that they paid, bro. And the thing is I don't know if you know this, but before last year, the Jaguars owner, he came out to the media and he said, this is the best Jaguars roster ever in terms of talent. So that's why all those guys got paid, because he thought that was the best team ever. It just goes you to show how stupid they are. But yeah, big up to you guys. Last offseason preview series of the cycle. Free agency is in 8 days. So March 10th at 12. Is he Steve Ballmer? Not that far off, bro. Not that far off. I prepared for an offseason draft. NFL teams love this football analysis. I appreciate you, Sai. I appreciate you. More stuff coming. Don't worry. But yeah, we have free agency that starts in 8 days at 12. So noon Eastern time on the 10th is when free agency really starts. So we're going to be basically from that point onwards, it'll be like the Deebo Samuels thing. As soon as a move happens, I'm going to be live as soon as I can. But until then, we're going to have a couple more streams, probably a prediction stream. I'm going to just come up with some predictions of moves that I think are going to happen. Maybe a quarterback landscaping stream. And yeah, we'll figure some other things out. But yeah, big up to everybody in here. I'm going to close the stream out here. This was a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody who made this fun. And then March Madness is coming up soon. So lots of streams coming up. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss when I go live. I'll see you guys later. Take care. I'm out.